McDonald's All-American, Duke men's basketball all-time leading scorer, 15 years in the NBA, podcasting star, and finals broadcaster. What hasn't JJ Redick done in the world of basketball? Coach. So, why did the Lakers hire JJ Redick?
I don't really have a great answer for your question because I really don't give a
This video explores Redick's career in sports, his transition to media, and why the Lakers chose him as their new head coach.
A very, very proud moment for us today to introduce JJ Redick as our new head coach.
JJ Redick grew up in a sports-oriented family, which played a significant role in his development as an athlete.
My older sisters were my heroes. They were my role models. You know, I wanted to tag along with them, whatever they did. They rode horses, so I started riding horses. They started playing basketball. That's the reason I started playing basketball.
Our kids played a lot of sports. They all played sports. They all played rec ball, they all played school ball, they all played AAU ball, then they all played college ball.
Redick attended Cave Spring High School in Roanoke, Virginia, where he quickly became a basketball prodigy, and by his senior year, an All-American. He was chosen as the MVP of the McDonald's All-American game in a year that featured notable players like Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, and Chris Bosh.
Eric Williams, Amari Stoudemire, and Shavlik Randolph again.
His exceptional shooting skills and work ethic earned him a scholarship to Duke University, one of the most prestigious basketball programs in the country. At Duke, Redick's impact was immediate. Under the guidance of legendary coach Mike Krzyzewski, better known as Coach K, he developed into one of the best college basketball players of his era. In his first year at Duke, he led his team with 30 points in their victory over NC State in the ACC Tournament Championship game.
That's it. Duke 84, NC State 77.
Despite being a prolific scorer and beloved by Duke fans, JJ Redick was often seen as a villain by rival fans due to his cocky demeanor on the court.
You see something that I did, or like the head bobbing, or talking shit to the Baltimore Ravens owner when we're kicking their ass at Maryland.
And his reputation for partying off it. Many considered him the most hated athlete in America.
But then a turnover and two missed shots, and then the two fouls against Redick.
What everyone else didn't know was that Redick had been dealing with many struggles off the court, including adapting to the pressure at Duke.
My whole sporting life, since I was 7 years old and watched Christian Laettner hit the shot to beat Kentucky, I was like, I want to go to Duke. I want to go to Duke. It was like a dream come true. And then I get to Duke and I'm like, oh, everyone fucking hates my guts.
It was the summer after his sophomore season that everything changed for him.
Sophomore year, I behaved, as I mentioned, as a frat kid. I was third team All-American. I was our leading scorer. We made the Final Four. On the surface, it appeared things were well, but I was about 25 pounds overweight. I was missing class. So they brought me into the office the first week of summer school. I was not enrolled in summer school. I had told my parents I was finishing up that incomplete at Duke, and I had told Duke that I was back home in Roanoke finishing up the incomplete, which in reality, I was just crashing at a buddy's apartment off campus. And I would get up every day, probably around 2 p.m. I'd go get a burrito at Cosmic Cantina, and then I would watch movies for about 4 or 5 hours, and then I'd party. And then I just repeat that for a couple weeks. They tracked me down, they took me to Coach K's office, and they gave me a stern talking to. And at that point, I was ready to hear it. And from that point on, that summer set the stage for the rest of my career. I would not have played 15 years in the NBA if it wasn't for that summer.
JJ would go on to significantly improve his game and would eventually win prestigious awards, including the Naismith College Player of the Year and the John R. Wooden Award. The one thing he didn't win, a national championship.
Redick goes out to a deserved applause.
I didn't get the closure that I wanted at Duke, which would have been a national championship.
Nevertheless, his college career solidified his reputation as one of the greatest shooters in NCAA history, becoming Duke's all-time leading scorer. After his 4 years in college,
with the 11th pick in the 2006 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic select JJ Redick from Duke University.
JJ Redick's transition to the NBA was marked by both challenges and triumphs. Early in his career, he struggled to find his footing in the league, dealing with limited playing time and adapting to the physicality, speed, and athleticism of professional basketball. During Redick's first few seasons, he struggled to find playing time, averaged about 6 points per game, and dealt with injuries that limited his performance. Throughout his first years with the Magic, Redick often faced an inconsistent role, fluctuating between starting and coming off the bench. This lack of stability sometimes hindered his ability to find a rhythm, which led to JJ even asking his agent to try and find a possible trade. After being labeled a bust, Redick's breakout came during his third year with the Magic in 2009, where he became a vital component of their offensive strategy after injuries to key players like Jameer Nelson and Michael Petrus. JJ had finally carved out a consistent role in the team's rotation, averaging 17 minutes per game compared to the previous season's 8. His ability to stretch the floor and create scoring opportunities was instrumental in the team's success. A team that made a run to the NBA Finals, but ultimately fell short of their goal.
Oh, and a block from Odom!
In 2013, Redick was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, and later that year, he joined the Los Angeles Clippers on a sign-and-trade deal, agreeing to a 4-year, $27 million contract that would catapult his career. It was with the Clippers that Redick truly flourished, becoming a key player on a championship-hopeful team that included Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. His consistent shooting and off-ball movement made him a crucial element of the Clippers' offense. He was the player that spread the floor so the Clippers' big three could shine.
Chris Paul will work with it. Backs up late. The lob got
JJ set many career highs during his time with the Clippers, including dropping a career-high 40 points against the Rockets and shooting 47.5% from 3 in the 2016 season. Although his team always showed promise during the regular season, in the playoffs, they failed to ever make it past the second round.
Man, we really that up. We had a chance to win, and it was to me, it was such a special time. And then by at least my sort of end of my third year, fourth year, it just felt completely different.
With Lob City breaking up and his deal coming to an end, JJ Redick joined the process Philadelphia 76ers in 2017, bringing his sharpshooting skills and veteran leadership to a young roster. During his 2-year tenure, he played a crucial role in the team's offensive strategy, providing valuable spacing and scoring consistency. Redick's presence was instrumental in guiding the team to consecutive playoff appearances, where he continued to be a reliable perimeter threat. But once again, more heartbreaking playoff losses for JJ.
Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger? Game! Series! Toronto has won!
The final years of Redick's playing career were far from memorable, even though he continued to be a valuable shooter and mentor to younger players. On July 15th, 2019, Redick signed a 2-year deal with the New Orleans Pelicans. After finishing the pandemic-shortened season with a record of 30-42, the Pelicans missed the playoffs, marking the first time in Redick's career that this happened.
My first real conversation with Zion was a couple weeks ago. And the last thing I said to him, I said, look, man, don't this up for me.
He did. He was like, I'm 13 for 13. Don't mess this up for me.
After that season, JJ grew frustrated with the organization and the direction they were headed in, which eventually led to him being traded during the 2021 trade deadline to the Dallas Mavericks. The relationship with the Pelicans ended very poorly. JJ would eventually express his frustrations with David Griffin for not being honest with him throughout the trade process.
I don't think you're going to get honesty from that front office. Just objectively speaking, that's not an opinion. I just don't think you're going to get that.
After a long career, Redick decided to retire a few months later.
After years of youth leagues, AAU, high school basketball, 4 years at Duke, and 15 years in the NBA, I'm retiring from the game that I love so much.
Throughout his 15-year NBA career, Redick solidified himself as one of the top three-point shooters in NBA history. His professionalism, work ethic, and basketball IQ earned him respect from teammates, coaches, and opponents alike. But he did not achieve the one thing that matters, a championship.
Matt, I mean, I know you ended up winning one in Golden State, but it's like, you know, for me, I didn't realize that was going to be my 10 years later, that was my last chance.
After retiring from professional basketball, JJ Redick seamlessly transitioned into a new phase of his career, sports media. Redick was the first active NBA player to start podcasting back in 2016, hosting The Vertical for Yahoo Sports. After bouncing around a couple different companies, Redick would launch his own production company named 342, the number of shots he would take every Sunday during the off-season.
Like my off-seasons were 6 days a week, 2 or 3 workouts a day, Saturdays off, Sundays make 342 shots exactly every Sunday in the off-season for the last 13 years.
Why 342?
It's very simple, man. There's 7 spots on the floor, 20 spot 2s, 20 spot 3s, 3 dribbles going right, 3 dribbles going left. That's plus 20 free throws. That's 342.
While in the bubble, he launched The Old Man and the Three, where he provided insightful analysis, interviewed fellow athletes, and discussed various aspects of the game.
All right, let's welcome in the very first guest of the Old Man and the Three podcast, Damian Lillard. Dame, thanks for joining us.
Redick's articulate and candid style resonated with fans and professionals, quickly making his podcast a popular platform for basketball discourse. His success in podcasting led to opportunities with ESPN, where he contributed as an analyst and commentator. Redick's deep understanding of the game and pristine delivery earned him a respected voice in basketball media, providing analysis on NBA games, player performances, and broader league developments.
You just said that Jimmy Butler was a perimeter shooter, and I love Jimmy Butler to death. I really do. He's one of my favorite players in the league, one of my favorite teammates I've ever had, but I think that's the first time I've ever heard someone describe Jimmy Butler as a perimeter shooter.
In a remarkable career progression, Redick eventually ascended to calling NBA Finals games as a broadcaster, showcasing his ability to translate his on-court knowledge into compelling commentary for viewers worldwide.
What makes this team great? The same reasons they need to do these things to win tonight. Ball containment at the point of attack, driving and scoring efficiently at the rim, and those drives creating rotations to shoot threes.
His presence in broadcasting further solidified his reputation as a knowledgeable and respected voice in sports media. Simultaneously, Redick continued to evolve in the podcasting realm by launching a podcast series with LeBron James called Mind the Game, demonstrating his ability to connect with both fans and top-tier athletes on a personal and professional level. This collaboration not only expanded his reach, but also highlighted his versatility in bridging the gap between sports media and player perspectives.
Exploitation. You're exploiting, and sometimes it's maybe basketball IQ, sometimes you're maybe exploiting a matchup. I know that I was exploited a lot at the end of my career, because by that time it was about target hunting.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when I was on the court, I was the target.
It is like,
and it's
pick
exploitation.
On the white guy, huh? This is bullshit, man. I don't like that.
Since Phil Jackson's retirement in 2011, the Los Angeles Lakers have experienced a turbulent coaching history, cycling through 6 coaches including Mike Brown, Mike D'Antoni, Byron Scott, Luke Walton, Frank Vogel, who won a championship, and most recently, Darvin Ham. This instability can be attributed to high expectations,
And the expectation is a championship.
pressure for immediate results, significant roster changes around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, injuries, inconsistent performances, and internal conflicts. These issues have undoubtedly undermined coaches' tenures. Additionally, the Lakers front office has made abrupt decisions in response to short-term failures, hindering player development and the establishment of long-term coaching strategies. The decision to hire JJ Redick as their new head coach is a strategic move influenced by these factors. Redick's 15-year NBA career provides him with a wealth of knowledge about the game. He played under various coaches, adapted to different systems, and experienced both individual and team successes.
I probably took something from every coach that I ever played for.
This diverse background equips him with a unique perspective on the challenges and intricacies of professional basketball. His first-hand experience in high-pressure situations, including playoff runs, is invaluable for guiding the Lakers in their pursuit of championships. Redick's analytical approach to the game is another compelling reason for his selection. His podcast and television work demonstrated his ability to dissect plays, understand advanced statistics, and articulate strategies effectively. In an era where data-driven decision-making is becoming increasingly important, having a head coach who can blend traditional basketball knowledge with modern analytics is a significant advantage.
I think there's so much value
in data, and there's so much value in analytics.
Redick's ability to interpret and apply statistical insights can help the Lakers optimize their game plans, player rotations, and in-game adjustments. One of Redick's standout qualities is his ability to connect with players across different generations. Having played with and against both veteran stars and emerging talents, he understands the perspectives and challenges faced by today's players. This ability to relate to players on a personal level can foster a positive team environment and enhance player development. Redick's experience as a mentor during his playing days, combined with his communication skills, positions him as a coach who can effectively guide the growth and maturation of young stars while also earning the respect of veteran players.
One of my greatest skills as a human being is my ability to communicate in an open and transparent way.
Redick's playing style and understanding of modern basketball align well with the current trends in the NBA. His emphasis on three-point shooting, spacing, and off-ball movement reflects the league's shift towards perimeter-oriented play. He already acted on this philosophy by drafting Dalton Knecht.
It's coming out. They want to see it. Dalton Knecht hits on his first try.
As the Lakers aim to adapt to these trends and maximize the skills of their roster, Redick's philosophy can help them implement an effective and contemporary style of play. His insights into creating efficient offensive schemes and defensive strategies can drive the team's success on both ends of the floor.
A defensive stop, and I don't care where the fuck you are on the court when you get this stop. Where are people running?
Yeah, run wide. That's all you hear.
Run wide to the three-point line.
That's it.
Okay, right? So these early shot clock threes, you know what the average effective field goal percentage on that is? Same thing, 55%.
Really?
It's a good shot.
Throughout his career, Redick was known for his professionalism, work ethic, and leadership qualities. These attributes are crucial for a head coach tasked with leading a storied franchise like the Lakers. Redick's commitment to continuous improvement, his attention to detail, and his ability to inspire and motivate players align with the Lakers' culture of excellence.
I think the best leaders are consistent.
Yeah.
The same guy every day. Best compliment I ever got as an NBA player, and I really mean this. Philly, my second year there, Philly wrote an article about, I don't remember the angle of the article, but there was a quote in there from Jimmy, and he was like, I love being JJ's teammate because he's the same guy every day.
JJ Redick's hire as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers marks a significant chapter in his multifaceted career. From his early days as a standout college player to his successful NBA career and subsequent transition to media, Redick has consistently demonstrated his deep understanding of basketball, his analytical prowess, and his ability to connect with people. The Lakers' decision to hire him may be rooted in his extensive playing experience, his modern basketball philosophy, his leadership qualities, and his potential to bridge generational gaps within the team. But to me, the number one reason he was hired for this role is his desire to win a championship at the highest level, something he failed to accomplish as a player.
I think about not winning a championship at Duke, and I think about not winning an NBA championship on a daily basis.
As he embarks on this new journey, Redick's unique blend of skills and experiences positions him as a promising leader for the Lakers, capable of guiding them to a future success in the ever-evolving landscape of the NBA.